And according to the Alzheimer's Association, more than 5 million Americans are living with the disease today. For our next guest, the efforts to find a cure are personal. Joining me now is neuroscientist Joseph Jebelli. Dr. Jebelli, good afternoon. Thanks for joining us.
Hi, good to be with you.
I'm wondering if you'd mind sharing with us a little bit about your personal story here, how this disease has impacted you, impacted your family, and what your experience with it on a personal level has been like.
So I first became interested in Alzheimer's after witnessing my grandfather go through the condition. As a teenager, he used to visit us from Iran, and each time he visited us, he was a little bit different. So he slowly became more and more forgetful, more and more confused, and eventually it got to the point where he was getting lost in our neighborhood, and it culminated with him not being able to recognize any of us. And so I had that experience very early on, and that sort of acted as a catalyst to make me want to go into neuroscience research and try and understand what this disease is and what we can do to treat it.
It's an amazing story, but he's not alone. Today, 5.4 million Americans suffer with this disease, and that number is set to more than triple by the year 2050. Do you have a sense? Does the medical community have a sense of why?
Yeah, so I mean, the plain truth is that it's simply because we're all living much longer. We're living much longer, healthier lives. And even though we know that age isn't the underlying cause of Alzheimer's, we know that it's the biggest risk factor. So once you pass the age of 65, your chances of Alzheimer's do increase. And as you say, the numbers are quite alarming now. Every 4 seconds, someone is diagnosed with Alzheimer's. 1 in 3 people born in 2015 will be diagnosed with Alzheimer's. And it's recently now just become the leading cause of death in England and Wales and also Australia. So this really is a global pandemic now, and something that we really need to get to grips with.
So there's no cure. Do you have a sense of anything that Americans can do at home in their personal lives to sort of hedge against the horrible odds that they're facing?
Yeah, absolutely. So there's no cure at the moment. There's a lot of good research going on, and I'm very optimistic that there will be treatments in the coming years. But in the meantime, there's a lot of evidence now to suggest that you can actually do things in your day-to-day life to reduce your risk of Alzheimer's. So we know that anything that's good for the heart is good for the brain, for instance. We know that sleep is a really interesting area of research. When you sleep, your brain essentially cleans itself, and we think that it cleans away the toxins that we think cause the disease. So also things like lowering stress. We know that patients who are very stressed have higher levels of cortisol, which means they can deteriorate faster. But also remaining socially engaged as well. A lot of studies have shown that if you remain as socially active as possible, and this can be anything from just engaging with friends and family on a regular basis, to staying mentally engaged as well, reading a new book, sort of learning a new language, anything that you can do will reduce your risk of Alzheimer's, but also help people who are in the symptomatic phase of the disease.
Dr. Jebelli, thanks so much for sharing your story and for sharing the scientific community's status on this horrible disease. I encourage all our viewers to check out your book. Thanks so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you.